Good morning, VCS, and welcome to the Monday Morning Show. This week, Alfred Tong will grace your screens for a devotional, and the Monday Morning team uncover another music video in their production meeting. Before we go forward, though, we all want to say a sincere thank you for your work for our grandparents during DTS this past Wednesday. It's so special what you guys did, and it truly means a lot. However, there was an unfortunate byproduct. 30 different families showed up at Mr. Haberstock's house to assist him with his gardening. Without any further ado, welcome to this week's Monday Morning Show.
All right. Hey, boys, welcome to the production meeting. Looking good. Jackson, you're back in your old haunt. It's good to see.
No, yeah. I actually didn't catch last week's show, but I'm sure you guys pulled it off just fine without me.
You can only try.
So, what's on the table this week?
Well, we got to make sure you're bringing the noise for the cold open.
Absolutely, as always.
Don't forget what happened at Haberstock's house. You got to mention that.
Oh, right. Yeah, let me write that down.
Hey, Noah, I was thinking today, let's remember back to the fall. You remember before COVID? You remember that?
I remember. Yeah, everything was perfect. We had social interaction, pumpkin pie. It was perfect.
In fact, pumpkin pie. That's right.
I'm starting to get a craving. Let's stop talking about the pie.
That reminds me of October. If you think about it, October is like the pinnacle of all things that were good about this year.
It's like the greatest month, yeah.
Brilliant. Hey, Noah, you thinking what I'm thinking?
Mr. Hayes, I don't know if we're ready for that.
Are you sure Brad is prepared for the immense fame that would come if we pulled that out of the archives?
You know what? I think we just got to roll it. Why don't you share your screen, Noah? Let's see it again.
See what?
Summer sun is long gone by. Grass is damp, air is cold and dry. It's only been a few weeks since she left my side. And watching all the leaves fall to the ground reminds me how my life is crumbling down. When's this eternity gonna end? 'Cause when you're having a good time, the time flies by. You wonder where it went. Your heart is crushed and things ain't tough. Time just seems to hold up. October, when's this month gonna be over? Alone inside, hung my blues to dry, eating pumpkin pie. October, I'll be happy when it's over. Sitting back, drinking pumpkin spice, knowing everything will be alright. I think of all the times in the back of my Chevy, spending nights watching shooting stars cruise by. Now I sit in my cab and I wonder why, playing my guitar through my tear-stained eyes. When's this eternity gonna end? 'Cause when you're having a good time, the time flies by. You wonder where it went. When your heart is crushed and things get tough, to hold up. October, when's this month gonna be over? Alone inside, hung my boots to dry, eating pumpkin pie. October, I'll be happy when it's over. Sitting back, drinking pumpkin spice, knowing everything will be alright. October, October, when's this month gonna be over? Alone inside, hung my boots to dry, eating pumpkin pie. October, October, I'll be happy when it's over. Sitting back, drinking pumpkin spice, knowing everything will be alright. Watching all the leaves fall to the ground reminds me how my life is crumbling down. When's this eternity gonna end? October.
Hello, Vernon Christian community. Just wanted to set up another message from one of our graduates. In this one, Alfred shares his take on Jesus' teaching from Matthew 6, and I really hope you enjoy it. Here goes.
No one can serve two masters. Either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money. Therefore, I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more important than food, or the body more important than clothes? Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable to thee? Can any of you, by worrying, add a single hour to his life? And why do you worry about clothes? Look at the lilies of the field. They do not labor or spin. Yet I tell you, not even Solomon in all his splendor was dressed like one of these. So if that is how God clothes the grass of the field, which is here today and tomorrow is thrown into the fire, will he not much more clothe you, O you of little faith? So do not worry, saying, what shall I eat? Or what shall I drink? Or what shall I wear? For all the pagans run after all these things. Your heavenly Father knows that you need them. But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. So do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Today has enough trouble of its own. Yep, so that's the end of my passage. For the first reason that I chose this one, because I found all the similes or metaphors in this passage really interesting. And from the passage, I concluded there are 4 reasons that Jesus tells us not to worry. The first reason being that God is our master. It describes a master-slave relationship. And back in 2,000 years ago, a master was supposed to take care of everything a slave needs. So it just tells us that God takes care of our needs. And the second reason being that God is also our Heavenly Father. Taking a look at the two analogies Jesus made about the bird and the lilies of the field, I think it's verse 27. It says, who of you by worrying can add a single hour to his life? This question just points out that our worrying is not helpful at all. It is doing nothing but giving us fear or anxiety. So, and also in verse 31 or 2, it says, but seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. I think in Matthew 6:10, it promised us that God's will be done on earth and his kingdom will come back on earth, which I think is the future, because that is like the ultimate success. It just tells us that along our way of seeking God's image or following God's will, all the necessities will be given to us by God, and that is how God provides for us. So it just adds more sense of security when we're trying to let God work in us. And the fourth reason, I think, is that worrying is a disguised unbelief. So Jesus calls us to differ from the unbelievers or all the Gentiles, because he assures us that God is taking care of us, and God knows what we need. I think the personal connection for me of this passage is that for years I've been interpreting God's will wrong, or the way I intended to be. My life goal looks more like the one that I had when I was 5 or 6. It reminds me of that pursuing all the material things is not enough. It's not what God calls us to do. There has to be something more than that. So I think it's just a clear or nice reminder.
All right, thank you again, Alfred, for sharing with our class, and then now by extension with the rest of the school community. Looking forward to Wednesday in chapel. We have some more music the students have produced, and some artwork that has come out of this year, and I know you'll enjoy that. And so we'll see you Wednesday. Ciao.